Well, greetings and welcome back, fellow blade lovers. OG Blade Reviews here with you once again. And today we've got a Kubey on the table. It's been a little while since I had a Kubey on the table. I think I did one by Alessandra De Santis, designed kind of after the wee Roman. And this one is a brand new design by a fellow YouTuber and Facebook group owner, editor, James Lowe from down under in Australia. He comes up with some very compelling and interesting designs. He's done them for Tucson and a bunch of other knife companies. Without further ado, let's do a quick reveal. There you go. I liked this version when I saw it. So what we have here is the Sylow. That's spelled S-Y-L-O-W. And looking out at Kubey, I didn't see any reference to why it's called Sylow, or if that's simply a takeoff on James's last name, Lowe, L-O-W-E. But this is S-Y-L-O-W. I'm not going to dwell on that. But here she is in all its glory. I'm going to thumb it open. And what we've got is a fantastic, I would call it kind of a cross between a Sheepsfoot and a Warney. Definitely has a flat, straight cutting edge. We could probably find a little bit of a belly in it if we put it up against a straight edge here. Actually not. No, I would call that perfectly straight. So call it a Sheepsfoot because we've got that rounded drop near the end. It's a very tall blade and has this key slot window for opening in it. That's the only method of opening it, and boy, is this drop shut. So you can easily middle finger flick it. You can, left hand does this better, you can front flip it very easily because you've got some really outstanding jimping in here. I love what he did. So back here, let's see if I can back out. There we go, almost there. Oh. Don't want to reveal the table to you. It's like the Wizard of Oz showing you who's behind the curtain, you know. Frag handle, titanium, 6LA something or other. I think I've got the specs here from, you probably don't need to know. But in the event you do, then it is a... it is titanium and good almighty. By the way, White Mountain, where I got this, is calling it 60 to 62 HRC, which is nice because it's only 14C. I say only 14C 28N. There you go. So on Kubey's website, it is 6AL-4V titanium, should you need to know that. I'm going to do my own weights and measurements on it. Comes in a bunch of different flavors. I try to get you a view of what's out on White Mountain. They're about 100 and a quarter. So you may be saying for titanium and 14C that is a little bit high. And I notice Kubey's prices are a bit high. However, you can get 10% off at White Mountain if you use my discount code OG-Blade or my old one, Old Sword, all one word. That'll get you 10% off of 100 and a quarter, which is $12.50. So you're going to drop that price down nicely to about $107, $108. I think that's pretty good for this knife, actually. I'm going to show you some compares in a bit, but I just love this gray heavy stonewash finish that they used on this particular model. Really nice. Isn't going to show wear anytime soon. Got a half back spacer with nice jimping on it. Call it jimping, kind of a tractor tread kind of a deal. We've got a clip that's almost completely deep carry, and that's unusual for a titanium clip. However, you don't get the opportunity to move it to the left side, you lefties, sorry about that. It is attached from underneath and likely milled in because there's only one screw that's holding that open. And even before we get to the weight on it, I will see, and yes, got some big pockets milled out on the inside. That adds to the price, whether you've thought of that or not. That definitely is more machining. Frag pattern is a lot of machining. And even though they're going through CNC machines and everything's computed in and set up to begin with, there's costs for testing R&D, the initial back and forth with the designer and sending prototypes and all of that. I believe that's all factored into the price. Still, you may feel it should be less money. I like it for what it is. And I love that thumb swale there. Man, oh man, does that really give you a positive grip. It's not a small knife. It's about 3.5 inches, and we're going to get into some measurements right now. So overall, we've got 8 inches. Tiny, tiny bit less. I'm going to call it 8 inches. 3 point, that's why I bought this knife. It was over 3.5 inches. It's like a 3.6, about a 3.6 inch blade. Cutting edge, 3 1/4 because of the, why? I don't know. It's because of the sharpening choil, of course, and a little bit extra distance to the end of the handle here. Okay. Stop blabbing and start showing, right? Millimeters, blade stock, pretty thick blade stock. Wow, 3.9, almost a 4 millimeter blade stock. James does like his solid, hefty knives. 0.15 inches on the blade stock and 0.51 only on the handle. That's fairly narrow for, I would call it a pretty heavyweight hard use knife. It's a frame lock. We'll take a look at the engagement on that in a moment, but 4.75 ounces, we'll call that. Not bad, 4 3/4 ounces for a pretty hefty knife. It's a pretty good size. Medium, large hands holding that knife. Really nice action on it. And if I didn't show you before, it's just absolutely drop shut. Thumb it open. If you're in a sensitive company and they don't want you clacking your knives open, you can give it, let's see if we can thumb it open. Yeah, sort of. I mean, it's got a nice detent. It breaks really well. I would say it's kind of hard to fail it. Oh, you keep your thumb on there, put it in the large portion of the slot, you can do that. You're still going to get some clack, when you swing it open. It's on bearings and it is just guillotine smooth and drop shut. Nicely centered blade, absolutely. And we've got a lot of real estate of blade. I know James kind of thinks about his folders the same way I do. I like a lot of blade in the handle. I like blades over 3.5 inches if I can get them. 3.5 will do me though. And being, what did I say, 8 inches? I mean, you're getting over 3.5 inches of blade in just an 8-inch overall knife. Branding wise, we've got Kubey's name on that side. We have James Lowe's very small logo there and very small here. We have, may not even be able to see it. You've got 14C right there on the blade. Yeah, maybe 154 or definitely S35 VN would be really nice for this knife. But I have some other compares, and I didn't put out on the table a very nice one recently that James made. That was James designed. It was made by Tucson. Now, when I think of Kubey and this style knife, I definitely think of the Atlas. There is the Kubey Atlas. One of my all-time favorite cleaver style blades. And that, again, we have a very blunt sheep's foot. We've got a little bit of a curve in the blade here. S35 on this guy, and titanium bead blast rather than stonewashed. And you got a big slot going in the middle here. I'm not sure what these are going for anymore, or even if they're being made. This is a couple years old. Got a very nice light blue, kind of sky blue, if you want to call it that, baby blue, clip and backspacer and pivot. And similar arrangement with the, that's a little tough one to get out with the middle finger flick. Back flipper, no problem. So that's the Kubey Atlas. And then one more I was thinking of, it sort of is in this category, from Vosti. This is their Gator. And I'm not sure the Gators are being made anymore, but it's definitely in this category. It's actually a little bigger. It's got a full 4-inch blade on this one, a little bigger than the Atlas, and the Atlas being longer than the Sylow. Let's get all the pommels lined up. Are we all lined up on the pommels? Let's see. Just give them a push there. Okay, they're absolutely lined up now. And what we've got is the largest, the Gator. Atlas, quite a bit longer than the Sylow. And the Sylow. So we got 8 inches on the Sylow. We've got overall 8.5 inches, let's say, on the Atlas. No, more like 8 3/4 on the Atlas. And overall on this big guy, it's going to be like 9 inches, I think. Let's do it this way. Oh, it's 9 1/8. Good God, that's a big knife. Too bad they're not made anymore. And that's a drop shutty, beautiful blade too. And what do they do this one in? Also 14C on that guy. Nice budgety big knife, and this definitely feels very light. Love the frag pattern, love the stone wash, and I guess the question remains, did they give us an edge? All right. Could be sharper. Could be sharper. If I'm drawing a full slicey draw on that, it is good. It's a smooth edge, but it is shaving sharp. Yep, just popped a few hairs off my arm. I don't have very hairy arms, so I got to hang on to what as much as I can, you know. Other models of this from White Mountain with prices, they're all 125. Ish, 124 and change. Let's see. Do I still have it up? Yeah, I do. Let's see. All right, so what do we got here for the Sylow from White Mountain? We've got an all blacked out one, 124.80. We've got the one you see on the table here, Dark Blast titanium. Love that finish. And we've got blue frag titanium handle with a stonewash finish on the blade. And we've got a plain stonewash finish. And that uses the blue hardware on that one. That's it. But I love the knife. It is really great. And I think James, once again, did an outstanding job on this knife. Look up his stuff. He's got just so many different designs out there. Great work, James. And to you watching this, I'm at a loss for words suddenly because I've been talking so much. Right here, you're going to see my logo. Click it, and you will be redirected to where you can sign up and be notified, subscribe, and learn about new videos when they drop. Be well, take care, stay safe.